Hey everybody, H2 reporting back on the F3 channel. Hey, good morning and thanks for joining me on this channel. And I was just thinking about some of the people I know out there that are in various stages of buying their first home or buying a home, and just wanted to get back on the channel here and offer up some reminders and or tips. So as you know, housing is going to be one of your biggest expenses coming in behind taxes, and particularly depending on where you live, it could be more than the tax burden. But certainly something that we have to do. And if you've already decided that you're going to purchase a home, congratulations. I think that's foundational in building generational wealth. But there's a few things you need to know as you get into this market before you get out there and start rooting around. And that is three things. I just want to offer up three tips to you today in reference what you need to keep in mind before you get into buying a home. The first thing you need to do is get pre-qualified from a lender. That is a very having gotten the pre-approval from a lender tells you several things. First of all, it tells you what you can afford, and secondly, it tells you what the lender is comfortable with in underwriting in terms of a mortgage. And so obviously, if you go out there and start house shopping before you have this information, before you know this information, you may be looking at something that's far beyond, what the bank will approve you for and or you can afford. So first things first, get pre-qualified so that you know where you stand. The second tip is to set a limit on how much you're going to purchase the home, how much you're going to pay for a home. And you want to set a limit that's underneath the maximum amount that you're pre-qualified for. So as you can imagine, what you're qualified for, that's what the bank or the financial institution has deemed reasonable in terms of what you can afford. So if you max out that particular amount, there's not much wiggle room in case some other financial obligation kicks in. So you don't want to be maxed out in your housing category, because there's other things in life you're going to have to finance. The third tip is to spend money on projects that increase value. And so you may be thinking, why would I need to consider that before I get a house? Because when you buy a house, many of us, including myself, get stars in our eyes, and we start to imagine, building a palace. And we start to spend money on things that does not necessarily increase the value of your property. So the best time to consider these kind of things is during the purchase time frame. So when you're out looking at properties, you're looking for a property that you can improve, that's gonna increase in value, thereby adding to your wealth. Now, so buying a home could be one of the you could technically make buying a home your path to creating wealth. And this is the way you do it. First of all, when you're buying a home, you want to look at the home in terms of how you're going to sell it and what you can probably sell it for. You go in with the mindset that you're only going to stay there for 2 or 3 years, and then you're going to rent that one out and perhaps buy another one. You can do this over and over again until you reach the maximum amount of mortgages that an underwriter will allow you to have. And so back in the day, it was, I don't know, 10. But today, or at least it was a few years ago, they had dropped it down to 5. But anyway, you max that out, and then you have all these properties that you acquired with, as little as 5% down. And so that little strategy can set you on a path to becoming a millionaire fast and in a hurry, and you can still go on with your particular career choice. But you got to have that in mind before you buy it, such that you're not buying properties that you're thinking you're going to stay there for 50 years and die. That's not likely in these times. So those are the 3 tips I have for those that are out there in the market, or those that may be thinking about getting into the market of buying a home for themselves and their family. All right, so let's review. The tips are: get pre-qualified from a lender. Tip number 2 is to set a limit on how much you're going to spend that's less than the amount that you're pre-qualified for. And then the last tip is spend money, or look to spend money on projects that increase the value of your home, thereby creating wealth. All right, hey, hopefully that'll help you. H2 going to sign off. You have a great day.